Hi everyone, my name is Liam Mackesy. I'm a Senior Solutions Specialist on the Native Advertising team in Microsoft Advertising. And I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you about some native advertising fundamentals and the importance of inclusive marketing. As marketers, you're in a really unique situation to reimagine your brand experience based on purpose. We're inviting you to try a new mindset and to go from being product-centric to people-centric. When you focus on value, you find purpose and you build trust and much, much more. These strategies will also help you to improve advertising performance. We've launched a new playbook on marketing with purpose that goes into depth on these strategies, and I'm going to touch on them at a high level today. And at the end of this session, I'll provide you with a link so that you can download the playbook and read it in your own time. So let's get straight into it. What we know is that our research has shown that trust is essential to driving business results, and it's essential to beginning a relationship with any customer. 85% of people that we surveyed say they will only consider a brand if they trust it. And yes, there are varying degrees of trust, and people can still do business with companies that they may not trust 100%. Think companies that dominate a market or provide convenience or savings, and from where there is limited or direct competition, people will sometimes make that trade-off. But once they're given an alternative, they flee. And marketers that we spoke to as we embarked on our consumer research define trust as table stakes. It's critical to doing business and ensuring things like protecting people's privacy, securing their data, providing reliable products. They're so important. But what we didn't quite understand was the link between increased trust and brand performance, and we found that link. Brands that are inclusive in their advertising are viewed more authentic and trustworthy. You might assume that only minorities or women might feel this way, but over half in the majority segments also feel this way. And that's a really, really powerful number. 63% of the entire population survey say brands representing diversity in ads are more authentic. 69% women, 59% men, 72% ethnic minorities, and 57% Caucasians. And here are the supporting stats for inclusive ads as driving trust in a brand. We also uncovered something interesting, that when someone sees an inclusive ad, it also signals that the brand is a market leader and increases their likelihood to recommend that brand to somebody else. Further to our research, we showed the increase in purchase intent for inclusive advertising is really, really significant. For this research, we studied Tommy Hilfiger because they do a great job of displaying various elements of diversity, but they also have many ads that would not be considered inclusive. We displayed a variety of their ads and asked people to tell us which were the most appealing and which were the most inclusive. And we then mapped that to purchase intent. When we broke down the performance, the inclusive ad shown here blew the non-inclusive ads out of the water with a 23% top box lift, as opposed to the second highest performing ad that was not inclusive at a 10% lift. People said that it made them feel more genuine and authentic. So let's talk about putting that into practice. How can you make your advertising more inclusive? Firstly, you need to ensure that whatever you're running on native truly represents your brand's values accurately. This is something that's so important in advertising and could be the reason why a consumer chooses your brand over another. Your brand purpose and values create trust and authentic connections with people. And there are not only great ideas in the brand values section of our playbook, but also like the pillar of responsibility and privacy and accessibility. So think about how you can make your ads more inclusive through language that you use. Make sure whatever ad copy that you're using is not accidentally excluding anybody. And there are lots of different ways that you can ensure your message is tailored to the right users. And we'll go into detail in this in the next section. Thirdly, when you're planning your campaigns and deciding on your strategy, don't just assume that because you think something is inclusive, that it actually is. Make sure that you seek out perspectives from peers and colleagues to make sure that the message also lands with them. It's also important that when we talk about inclusivity in marketing, that we're not just leading with stereotypes. Make sure that when you're executing on your marketing campaigns, that you're showcasing realistic diversity and not just conforming to stereotypes. To go deeper on this and to understand some of the data behind these recommendations, all of this can be found in our playbook. But now let's look at putting it into practice. So let's look at the Microsoft Audience Network. The Microsoft Audience Network is comprised of high-quality native placements curated through human and AI reviews and brand-safe environments on Microsoft-owned and operated sites like MSN and Outlook.com, and Microsoft Edge, and on our select premium partner sites like CPS Sports, Everyday Health, Fox Business, and so on. Through our network, you can access the Microsoft audience and meaningfully engage with your ideal customers by leveraging Microsoft's unique data about its users and their intent signals. And we also do this by respecting customers' privacy and data security, and we do not share our data and we do not buy any external third-party signals. At Microsoft, we really pride ourselves on following strict processes to create a privacy-safe environment for our customers, which in turn complies with all GDPR and CCPA privacy laws. Plus, we've been doing this for a while at Microsoft, and we know that our industry-leading artificial intelligence drives personalization and increased ad relevancy to help you achieve your marketing goals. So when we look at the Microsoft Audience Network in more detail, how can you make your campaigns more inclusive? So let's move on to targeting. Now that we've given you an overview of what the Microsoft Audience Network is, targeting is really key to making sure that your ads are showing to the right users and that you're tailoring your ads to the users that you're targeting. On the Microsoft Audience Network, we have a full suite of audience targeting solutions that you can take advantage of. Those include gender, age, device, location, audience, and LinkedIn profile targeting. These tools will help you to ensure that you're presenting the right message to the right user at the right time. So let's say you're an automotive advertiser who learns that women value different car features when deciding to purchase a car. This would be a great opportunity for you to choose images for your ad by gender so that you can craft the marketing message to highlight the specific automotive features women value. And in this way, the ad is optimized for creating a more trusted customer experience, where the audience feels that your brand is for someone like me. Another example, a simple one, could be that your business is located in an area or a country where you're using geo-targeting and a majority of your customers are specific ethnicity. It would be better to represent your potential customers in the images that you choose so that everyone can relate to your ads. After targeting, let's talk about images. Ensure that your images are fully inclusive of all of the audience that you are targeting. And remember that it's best to have multiple creatives per ad group on the Microsoft Audience Network. So this gives you the opportunity to test out different creatives and to see what works best. You can even make things super targeted and could target different ages or genders with different images if you'd like. We know that finding the right images can be difficult, so that's why we want to make it really easy for you on the Microsoft Audience Network. Last year, we introduced people filters for our Shutterstock image library, so that not only do we help you to find the right images for your campaigns if you don't have them, you can also apply filters to ensure that you're using a diverse range of images by applying filters for specific genders, ethnicity, age, or number of people. And this will ensure that whatever images you choose will speak to the audience that you are targeting. And when we talk about native, yes, the use of images is very important, but let's move on to language. Language is equally important. Make sure that the message you're using is authentic and speaks to your target customers. This is just an example of how one small word or phrase can make your ads more inclusive. This is an ad for a company that sells baking utensils and ingredients. And you'll notice that in the example here, we're using the term holiday season. This might seem obvious or a little change to make, but it makes all the difference. And recognizing that different groups of people celebrate different things at this time of the year is super important. So it's crucial that you think about that and don't just focus on one specific celebration. As I said, this is just an example, but with the targeting options that I mentioned earlier, you can ensure that the language that you're using is specific to the group of people that you are targeting. We've also included some other ideas for you to consider here. The key really is to keep it simple and not to assume anything about your audience, and always check and seek advice. Check with a colleague or coworker and see, do they relate to the ads that you are creating? So to sum it all up, now that you've learned how to build an inclusive marketing campaign, go and put it into practice. Start building your campaigns on the Microsoft Audience Network and take advantage of the targeting options to make sure you're targeting the right customers at the right time. Take advantage of our filters from our Shutterstock library to make sure that you're finding a diverse range of images, and make sure that the language that you're using in your ads is fully inclusive. For more information, visit our microsoftadvertising.com/native site and check out our Marketing with Purpose playbook. Thank you.